So the Federal Reserve, or AKA Uncle Jerome, he just decided that, guess what? We're gonna pause raising interest rates. But what does this really mean to you and I as traders and investors in the stock market? We gotta understand the history of the decisions that the Federal Reserve, or Uncle Jerome, makes. So when you think about it, the Federal Reserve said, hey, we're gonna continue hiking rates for a long time. Well, what is a long time when he used to say that? Because now we're at a place where we're not hiking rates anymore. So a long time was really only about a period of a year. Now he says we're going to continue to hike rates, but we're just going to slow down the pace. So he's basically saying we're going to take a pause right now, and then we're going to pick back up and start doing it again. If you really read between the lines, I mean, they really have a history of lying. They're saying we're not in a recession when we actually were in a recession that had 2 negative quarters of GDP. No one wanted to call it a recession when we were really in one. Then they keep saying the real recession is coming. All the while the market is moving up. Then they say we're going to hike rates for a longer period of time. And well, we just got our first pause, which really means we're probably done hiking rates, but I don't want to say that to the market because everyone will get excited and rush back into the stock market. The reality is there's a good chance that they are done raising rates, but they don't want to say it because saying they'll pause gives them opportunity to raise it if they need to, but the likelihood that they'll need to is pretty unlikely. So here's what I think. I think it's all clear to get back into the market. I know some people never left. Now, let me be clear as we use the clear word here. Doesn't mean go in, buy everything and just get reckless with your trading and your investment. But what I'm saying is, I think the things that can bring the market down have all dissipated. You got the Russia-Ukraine war, that's already factored in. No one cares about high gas prices anymore, that's kind of tapered off. And now no one cares about raising interest rates, especially since we just got our first pause. It's like, how much higher can they raise it? Now, maybe some people are starting to think about, well, student loans are back and you have to make payments for student loans again. But the reality is that's a small part of the population. And even those student loans are starting to come back into play. Those people either A, are making more money than they used to because of the wage inflation, that situation that happened where everyone got raises because to keep up with the cost of inflation, as well as some of these people will have to do what they used to do back in the day, which is get a second job, or they'll have to cut back on vacationing or buying that second boat or that second RV. That's not going to affect the entire economy. It just may affect some of the luxury goods or some of the things that you don't necessarily need, but you just want. So I think it's a good time to start looking at some of those stocks that were good stocks, but they were just beating down because it was a bad time in the overall economy. But I think those are going to be the ones that come back roaring even faster, even better. Some examples, the Teslas of the world, the Amazons of the world. You might want to consider looking at the AMDs, the NVIDIAs, as people are needing more computing power to keep up with everything that's going on with AI. You literally have a couple of revolutions that are happening right in front of your face, right under your eyes, that are going to most likely continue into the near and foreseeable future, which means people are going to be spending money on the cloud, computers, semiconductors. With Tesla, you had GM and Ford now agreeing to use their electric chargers, which is now kind of going to create a stable platform for producing electric cars if everybody can use the same chargers, which may accelerate the expansion and delivery of electric cars. These are all things that equate to good news for the U.S. economy. And again, Uncle Jerome just said they're pausing on the interest rate hikes. So pay attention. I think you got to get off the sidelines, get in the market, get some of this money. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Uncle Jerome pausing the interest rate hikes, and share your thoughts about AI and electric vehicles. I'll see you in the comments.